It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 It's black and white.
Hello there, my name is Lee. Welcome back to another video, and welcome to Timetable Reviews. So this is the show where I showcase timetables in my collection. And welcome to this mini-series showcasing all the timetables that I got at the Wycombe bus running day in March 2025. So let's go to the table and let's see what timetable I've got today. So here's the table, and here's the timetable. So this is the August 2005 edition of the High Wycombe Area Guide. So let's begin. So firstly, this is a slimmed down version of the other guides that we'll showcase in this series. Spoiler alert, I will mention it as a little update at the end of this video, so keep an eye on that. But it shows all the companies, including ones not actually in the timetable, which is kind of interesting. But there's all the companies, only phone numbers though, not website numbers and stuff like that. Start with Route 1, the High Wycombe Board End route again. Of course, we showcased this in the High Wycombe guide from July 2004, which, if I remember rightly, was the last video. But as you can see, simple hourly service run by carousel bus from Board End to High Wycombe, and an hourly Saturday service. Then we got Route 4, the High Wycombe Cheshire route. Of course, back in these days, the route was always run by two different routes. It was two separate routes. This will last until 2013, when it became Route 1. And Carousel Route 1, it was Carousel ran Route 4 and Route 62 at the time. I think it was, maybe Route 362 still. Was operated by Arriva. As you can see, half hourly service on that. The last three departures from High Wycombe and all day on Sundays were under contract to Buckinghamshire County Council. Note though that on a Sunday they also ran to High Wycombe Hospital in the afternoon. From the first bus until 12 o'clock it didn't, but then afterwards it did. That was an hourly service anyway. Next up is Route 31, down in Penn as usual. This was every 15 minutes at the time, run by Arriva, hourly Sunday service as well. Then Route 33, bearing in mind obviously Route 32 was still Route 326 at the time. This was every 10 minutes from Castleford to Totbridge, and half hour on Sundays. Then we got Route 74. Now, Route 74, as I said in the previous video, has always had a lot of different operators. So, on Monday to Friday, it was operated mostly by Arriva, but first bus operated every 2 hours. On a Sunday, however, which was every 2 hours, I think, yeah, it was run by Carousel Bus. That was just because of the contract at the time. Then we got Route 100 again, which was the Park and Ride service. The Cressex Express was still running at the time. However, this replaced it in September. This was produced in August. But the Saturday service didn't start until December 2005. The service itself was going to be a heavy 15-minute service. In the latter days, it was. Then we've got the 158, a country rider route by Arriva on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday to Barlow and High Wycombe once a day in each direction. Apart from there was one in the morning from High Wycombe direct to Barlow. And that was so that the bus can get back to Barlow. Then we got, oddly, the 275. Now, the 275, of course, we showcased 2 videos ago with the Arriva timetable. By then, the route had already been taken over by Red Rose, who ran it every 2 hours, like what Arriva did. Then Route 301, High Wycombe to Flagway Heath, every hour on that. Then the 305 again, the Route 305, a route that we showcased in the London Country Guides. we showcased these. Unfortunately, at that time, Arriva was the sole operator. Apart from one trip a day, which was run by Carousel, that was it. There was nothing. And it was also really reduced. Now, it was a 2-hourly service with 2 short journeys from Beaconsfield. But, yeah. And then the 307, which was a really interesting town service. As you can see, it was always an interesting route. But during the day, it was practically every hour to Stockbridge Drive. And every half an hour to Hollis Road. Then the 308, Deeds Grove route, now the 38 route, of course, hourly service on that. There was no afternoon departure, though. There was in the past, but no, there wasn't at that time. 308, 309, which was the Middlebrook Road, Delhi's Pheasant Drive route. Just one of those weird routes there. Then the 315, which, if you don't know the 315, this was a evening, Monday to Saturday service and an all-day Sunday service. This was to operate between, operated between Bourne End, Flagler Heath, High Wycombe and Lane End, so it's practically more or less, practically it was more or less a 48, really. However, it obviously didn't go to Great Bissenden, it went to Bourne End instead. Hourly Sunday service as well. Then the 317, the Head route, now route 37, of course, half hourly service to Bourne End, half hourly service to Maidenhead. 323, 324. Which was operated by Arriva. Of course, this was the Aylesbury service, of course. Both were hourly at the time, so yeah, there was not much to talk about there. Then the 326, again, a route that we'll show again later. I think in the next video. Spoilers. Spoiler alert, I must add that I have actually recorded this backwards slightly. I'll get to why in a minute. But this ran every 15 minutes for that day. Half hourly Sunday service, but only to Micklefield. I think the other one was because of the 315. Then the 327. Now, I've showcased this before. Probably in the previous video, actually. This was run by a company called A&A Travel, who are based in, as you can see there, Hampstead Close, just inside High Wycombe. This operated 2 trips a day. Only one from Wycombe, though, to Rugwood Road in Flagler Heath. Then the 328, 329, the Reading services, which were both hourly during the day. And then we've got the 331, which at the time was run by Arriva at the time. This operated once a day in each direction. Shows the X32 as well for some reason, which I think, if I remember rightly, I think that was also run by Arriva, but don't quote me on that. 333, 334, another sad situation, this route. This was run by Carousel at the time. And as you can see, it was so infrequent. This was the last time this route ran regular. It just shows how bad everyone is. 339 was Lane End, Creswick High Wycombe. Carousel and Arriva ran this. However, they both ran hourly, but the Carousel went slightly differently. So really, they shouldn't really call it the 340 or something, or the 338. But no, they didn't. And Arriva ran it all day on Saturdays. Then the 340, 342, which as you can see, they were both every 2 hours each. And it went slightly differently because they went through the villages. Then the 345, the High Wycombe, Great Bissenden route. This went via the old 345 route that was operated by however, the 345 also went via the Buckinghamshire College Group's Wellingborough campus, which was in High Wycombe at the time. Carousel also ran a 2 service as well, but of course didn't last that long. And there was an hourly Saturday service, only Arriva, mind you. Then the 362, 372, which were the High Wycombe Chesham services run by Arriva. 372 went via Penn Street, Wishmore Hill, which is now what the 1C does. But Arriva didn't run a Sunday service on that. Then the 355, which was run by Waters Limousines at the time. This operated once a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, once a day in each direction. Then the Crescent Express again, which, as I said, was due to get withdrawn at the end of 2000 in September 2005. This was a half-hourly service most of the day. Ambassador Line were running this, and I believe they do still exist, but they don't really run much nowadays. Then the 393. Now this ran from Newland Park College to Marlow Hill. It was like a shuttle bus. However, it was operated by a company called Maggie Travel, who were based in High Wycombe. But there was once a day a short journey from Newland Park to the Stanley Hill stop in Chalfont. This was run by another company, Jason Tours, who of course I mentioned in the previous video. Then Route 400, Bournemouth to High Wycombe, with a couple of times a day to Stoke-on-the-Church, hourly service on that. Then the 757, the National Express service from Oxford to Stansted, which at the time was going through High Wycombe. It doesn't anymore, it now goes through Luton instead. Then the A40, which was run by Carousel at the time, they launched it back in 2002. And it was in partnership with both Buckinghamshire County Council and Heathrow Airport. It ran hourly throughout the day, no night buses or anything. Carousel didn't really do night buses. And then the two ride of services. The first one was Bedlow, which did have a few scheduled journeys run by Carousel on Route 321, but that was it. They were trying to meet the trains because they had scheduled departures. What you have to do is that you have to call them, and then they will pick you up. And the other one was Hambledon in Marlow. We either went to Marlow or Henley. Both routes were run by Walters, and it shows about the rail services and the High Wycombe map. And on the back, of course, the train services in Buckinghamshire. But yeah, that is the High Wycombe guide from August 2005. If I just turned, there we go. Now I did say that this is going to be I have got an announcement, and that is due to circumstances. This series will be ending soon. After July the 15th, I think it was. So you've got a couple more weeks of this. All Timetable review videos will be changing to the show bus series instead. There's still loads of these ones left, and I haven't got the storage or the time to do it at the moment. So that's why I'm going to be changing it. So from after the 15th of July, so that week will be a Christmas video. Obviously, I know what it is because I'm doing it in order, but from then it will be the show bus series. That will last until about September, and that will then run into the Chesham series. But yeah, as well as that, you probably noticed that I'm actually doing this slightly different order. What happened was that I lost a lot of the timetables. Now, it's okay, I've got them all back. There was a few casualties, but there's nothing I could do about that. I wasn't going to do a video about that one anyway. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Goodbye.